Hey, welcome back to the channel. Before we get on to the clear coat portion of this, I wanted to talk about fixing mistakes. So in the last video, I mentioned that the Thunderbird script was really script and was really crisp and looked really nice on the side of this. And it did, but after I painted it, I realized that I didn't like where it was at right there, and that if I was going to be doing the scroll paintwork like I wanted to, I didn't want to have that on the nose either. So I came back in after it was painted, obviously, and I sanded all those logos off of there. So the car's not going to have any Thunderbird's logos. It's not going to say Thunderbird. It's just going to have the decal scroll work on the trunk lid and then on the hood. So part of the reason I did this was because I want to show you that you don't have to strip and repaint the model if you have a problem. So like obviously in this case I decided to take off the writing, but if you had bumped this on the table, dropped it, you got a bunch of crap in the paint, whatever, and you just need to fix a little bit, I want to show you how to fix that. So as you can see, we sanded it back down. It's all down to bare plastic. So we're going to come in with the airbrush here and we are going to shoot primer back on that and get it blended in, and then we're going to repaint it. So let me grab the airbrush and I'll get that set up here. Okay, so we got the airbrush set up. I got the primer in it. We got it all aired up. So you can see real close up of what I did there. I just sanded out where the logo was at. I decided after I painted it that I didn't like the way the logo looked, so I just real carefully cleaned it up. Took the Thunderbird ones off the back because that used to have that little T-Bird logo and then it said Thunderbird under it. So I didn't like that, so we pulled it out. So for this, it's real easy. Just come in. You kind of want to spray away from the body, and I'll show you what I mean about that. Because you don't want to get it anywhere else other than just where you clean the plastic up. Just real lightly come back in. Make sure it blends in nice. That looks really good. That's all you got to do. We'll do the same thing to this side. Make sure you cover it. I mean, that's all there is to it. It's easy enough, huh? I think you can see that. Okay, that I went over a little heavier than that I just went over a little heavier. It edge mapped a little bit where I sanded it off. No big deal. We'll come in and fix that. I'll show you how all that works. Same thing on the hood. I just cleaned off I got a bunch of crap on there. Then I bumped the lamp with it, so that chipped it a tiny bit, but I mean, you know, we're repainting it, so no big deal. So again, just come in. Now you're not trying to load this up. You just want to get the primer on there because you're going to come back and sand it out anyway. So you can see where it kind of got all over. No big deal. We'll just repaint the whole thing. It's not a big deal. All right, let me clean up the airbrush and I will get the paint in it and I will come back and we'll finish this off. All right, so I got the body prepped. I'll show you what I did on it. I'm just going to show you on the hood because I don't want to bore you with it. So you can see where we painted it with the primer, and it's oversprayed quite a bit. That's actually worse than I want it to be, but no big deal. I'm going to repaint it anyway. But it covered all that bare plastic, which is what we wanted. That's what we were after. So if you ever do a repair like this, just come back in. And I'm using my 1500 grit again, like I always do. And just carefully rework that primer in so it matches up real nice. All you're trying to do is get rid of all that overspray so there's none of those bumps, and then you just want it to sand smooth so it makes a nice transition between that new primer and the old paint. Okay, then like I said, that edge was a little goobered up anyway, so I gotta repaint that. Okay, so that's that. And that looks good, feels good. We'll go ahead and grab the airbrush here, which I have the paint in, and we'll get this painted. I'm going to start with the hood. Now, exactly the same thing as before. We'll come in. Get those edges touched up where it kind of burned through a little. Okay, just a little there, a little there. Now I let the primer sit for, oh, I don't know, I guess about a half hour or so before I touched it. Probably closer to 20 minutes, to be honest. But, you know, it dried perfect. Sanded out really well. Looked good. You can't even, I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can't tell that was fixed after the fact. And you could use those not only on the bodywork. Dirt nub, you drop it. Like I said, I actually chipped the edge of that on my light up here. You know, that just fixed it all. And same thing on here. Let me wipe this body down a little bit more. So tried to just keep that all in there. Sanded only to about here, just enough to put it back in. Okay, light coat. We'll go to the other side. Actually, I see a spot that I don't want. And don't be afraid to come back and keep working these. Yeah, there we go. Okay. You're going to spray over the new primer, and then you're going to bring it back a little into the old paint. Yeah. This one kind of, that deck lid kind of, come back in and kind of do a bit of a drop coat on that. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, you can't even tell I did that. So the body's done there. Let me let this dry again real good, and I will, of course, do a little bit of touch up on stuff I didn't catch the first time. That's fun of painting. I mean, it's what you're going to end up doing. So that's done. The hood's looking great. A little bit of Just a little bit extra right there. Okay. And that's it. We're done with the paint. I'll let that dry. We'll come in. I'm going to throw those 2 decals on there. I'm going to put one where the Thunderbird logo went on the deck lid and where it went on the hood. And then I'm going to just clear coat over everything and we'll be done with it. All right, we are moving right along here. So the paint turned out perfect. You can't tell that I had to do any of that work to it. So yeah, we're ready for decals now. This is a sheet out of the Revell 49 Mercury, the custom one. I'm going to use these 2 decals here, which are basically these here, but in white. I think that'll look good with kind of the straight lines of the car. Put one right on the hood and then one right on the deck lid. So let's get started on that. That's going to be pretty standard decal work. Just get them cut out of here real quick. I'm also going to use the California Cool license plate on this. I have some aftermarket decals and they have a Utah plate in there, but I just didn't want to use that. All right, toss that in there. Okay. Gonna set that way out of the road here. Make sure I don't get any water on something I don't want water on. And yes, that is something I learned by trial and error, so. Okay. Those need to sit for just a minute longer. So these customs, I really like them with kind of that scroll paint work on them. I think that's cool. I also don't like a lot of that on there. My personal preference, and it's however you want to do it. I mean, it's your custom. So I just like a tiny little bit of flash on them. I kind of a less is more guy when it comes to a lot of paintwork stuff. It's probably because I spent some time in a shop where everything had to be done instantly and easy and once. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so drop that down. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. Oh, that is perfect. Let me get that lined up a little better. Okay, needs to slide over a little bit because it's not centered on the hood. Okay, and that is good there and there. Okay. Go over it with the Q-tip. Okay, I caught that, so that needs to come down a little bit. There we go. Okay, I am happy with that. Oh, that looks so good. I'm really happy with that. Okay, now we got to do the same thing to the back of this. Ah, crap, that's coming off already. Okay, I let that one sit in there a little bit too long. No big deal. Damn it. Uh-oh. Okay. We might not be using this one in the back. Let me put it back there. Get a little more water on here. Okay. Okay, actually that turned out okay. A little more water. Okay, let me make sure I got this the way I want it to be. Okay, that needs to come over a little bit. It's a little bit of the not fun part of modeling right there. I'm trying to get these all lined up like that. Okay. Yeah, it actually needs to come over a little bit. Okay. All right. I know that was probably a little bit boring. I'm sorry. Okay. I like how that looks. Now I'm just got to put some of the... I use this Walther Solvaset. I love this stuff. I know I've mentioned it in some of my other videos, but I just can't say enough how much I like it. Wipe most of it off. Just go over it real quick. That was way too much on there. Okay. Crap. Okay, that slid out from under me. Let me... Come on. There we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. Whew. Ah, that makes me nervous because that Walther's, that Solvaset, that'll get right into those decals real quick, and then they turns them, I mean, softens them up so nicely that they really become unworkable after just a few seconds. So very excited how well that turned out. So yeah, these yeah, those decals are perfect. Oh man, that looks so good. Ah, that's perfect. I love that. Yeah, that looks really, really good. When that solvaset dries and that snuggles down a little bit more on that deck lid, that'll be perfect. I'm not going to mess with that because I already broke it, and I don't want to screw it up because I really want that front to match the back. So okay, so that's done. So I'm going to let that dry, and then we'll get everything all set up, and we'll come back and we'll shoot the clear coat on it, and we are going to be very, very close. Well, I mean, we're going to be done with the paint work, but we're going to be close to being done with the entire body work. So I'll come back in just a little bit and we'll get that done. Okay, we're going to do the clear coat on this right now, but to start I want to clean this off a little bit because it's been sitting here for a little while. So I'm just going to come in with the tack cloth. You can get these pretty much anywhere. I of course get them by the big box at my local car paint shop, but you can get them at Home Depot. I think they sell them, you know, like anything Home Depot, they'll sell that at Lowe's. They'll have it at the hardware stores. Ace Hardware, I think, sells them. I think you can get them at Walmart also. I'm not 100% sure, but just check it out. They're just cheesecloth with a little bit of a sticky added to them. It doesn't really stick to you, but it pulls all the gunk off of the paint, so that's nice. If you have decals, go real lightly, but I've used them over decals a lot. I've never had a real problem with that. And just like normal, just wipe it all off. Okay, and this is actually what we're going to start with, is the hood. You can see, just go over that. So, okay. So for this, we're going to be using my 2K clear coat. Actually, this is stuff I just mixed out for this project. So catalyzes at 4 parts paint to 1 part, or 4 parts clear to 1 part hardener. So if you buy our 5-ounce set, you can just mix that out yourself. Okay, as always, the 0.5 tip with the 25 psi of paint, or air, I mean, and you're ready to paint. There's a little spot right there. There we go. I got it. Like always, I like to go over that side, go over the edge, and then same thing as before, front to back, or side to side, and then I'll come back and do it front to back. Then with the 2K, oh yeah, let that sit for a second. Man, that really brought that color out. That color is just amazing. I cannot get past that color. Now there really is no trick to using 2K, but what you're going to want to do is when you spray it until it turns super shiny, and that's really all you got to do. Yeah. Nope. Okay. Okay, that looks really good, and that's done. I kind of went a little light on the hood. I'm going to come back and redo that. One of the tricks I've learned with the 2K is if you come back in and you spray a tiny bit more on it, you'll watch that overspray kind of melt into the clear. As soon as it starts doing that, you're done. Yeah, look at that. That is perfect. You can see how shiny that is with that reflection. And it'll dry just like that. You're done at that point. Okay, let me refill the cup so I don't run out. And same thing as with the paint. I like to start from the bottom facing up. Come around. Make sure you get all those inside edges. Don't want to repeat it when I painted it. Go back over that. I just realized I forgot to turn my fan on. Let me do that real quick. There we go. Okay. Okay, look that over. Oh man, that is beautiful. Wow. Yeah, look at the fenders. You can see where you can't tell where I took out those. Okay. Yeah, I'm worrying about nothing there. Okay, and you can see, I mean, that line's real nice and crisp. Get that in the light, you can see how that chrome line's still nice and crisp. Door gaps look really good. A lot of what you hear about 2K, that just isn't the case anymore. I know it used to be to kind of build up on the edges of stuff and was giving guys hassles, but just more modern technology with those paints, they just don't act that way anymore. See, no runs, no drips. Just put enough on there to turn it shiny and you're good to go. So that's going to be the end of this video. The next video we're going to come in and I believe we are going to be working on the chassis and probably the engine. We're going to try to do a lot of the underbody work on this thing. And what else? Yeah, that should be it. So we're done with this episode, and like I said, on the next one we'll dig more into the chassis and the underbody work. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.